The only thing that restricts the activities of the surveillance state are policy. And because of that, a new leader will be elected. They'll flip the switch, say that because of the crisis, because of the dangers that we face in the world, some new and unpredicted threat, we need more authority, we need more power, and there will be nothing the people can do at that point to oppose it, and it'll be turnkey tyranny. I'm from the United States. I was born in North Carolina. I've moved all over. I spent most of my adolescence, my teen years, in Maryland. And in a lot of ways, you could say I grew up in the shadow of the NSA. I always thought I would work there because that's what everybody in technology seemed to do. My father worked for the military for 30 years. My grandfather retired as an admiral. My mother worked for the federal courts, in fact, still does, which is an irony that's not lost on me. For somebody in a federal family, it's kind of natural to follow in their footsteps and just say, why not? Our government is the greatest government in human history. We're all taught that. This is the kind of thing that led me into the Army. When they said, we're going to free an oppressed people from a dictator, I felt that I had an obligation to do my part to see that happen. In the Central Intelligence Agency, you sign a non-disclosure agreement, but then you're made to stand up and take a real oath. This is an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. It's not an oath to the President, it's not an oath to the Congress. It's an oath to our ideals. When the government says you can't say anything about the classified information that you work with, but that classified information conceals violations of the Constitution of the United States, a fact which has now been upheld by courts, what would you do?
Breaking news out of Washington is going to outrage a lot of customers of one of the country's largest communications companies.
The National Security Agency is keeping track of the telephone records of millions of Americans.
My name's Ed Snowden. I'm 29 years old. I work for Booz Allen Hamilton as an infrastructure analyst for NSA. I was so scared.
The apparent source who exposed the government's top-secret collection of phone records has revealed himself.
Tonight, The Guardian has posted an interview with that intelligence contractor.
Lindsay and I met something like 12 years ago. She had no idea what was coming. I couldn't tell her, because if I did, the government could go after her. Can you imagine someone you've been with for years showing up on TV? And it being obvious that they'll probably never come home again. I think it was really hard for her. But instead of leaving, she came back. And that was something that reminded me just how lucky I am.
Are you proud of your son?
I am absolutely proud of my son. Proud of him, it could bring me to tears. I'm so proud of my son because I know what he sacrificed.
Does he have any regrets at this point?
He said he has absolutely no regrets, none.
If our laws mean something different than what the majority of the 330 million Americans believe them to mean, we've gone to a place that is actually anti-democratic.
I believe we need a new approach. I am therefore ordering a transition that will end this program as it currently exists.
The U.S. Appeals Court has ruled that the NSA's massive collection of phone records is illegal.
Call it Edward Snowden's legacy. The U.S. Senate nixing the extension of Bush-era guidelines that grant broad snooping powers to the National Security Agency.
The so-called USA Freedom Act ends the government's bulk collection of phone data.
I still love my country, and I still consider myself to be working for it. To serve your country, sometimes you have to disagree with the government. And that is not traitorous. That, I would say, is patriotic.